Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to talk about a fundamental thing that a lot of us overlook. And it's the idea that if you leave something for an opportunity, well, you can always return to it. It's something that we don't really consider. Before I fully dive into this concept, though, I would like to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, that we get all the various episodes and lessons that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and truly appreciate you if you already were. It means a lot to me. So let's get into this, right? So let's take someone in college, right? If there's an opportunity while you're in college to be able to take that's a job, and you're like, well, should I quit college to go pursue this or not? Well, the good news is, if this opportunity is only available to you now, then perhaps you should, because, college, you can always return to it. We don't really consider that, but you can return to college. There are examples of people going back even to high school to complete their degrees. So it is feasible to do that, and I think we always think like we leave something and we can't ever get back to that original thing, but it's just simply not true most times. Not saying all the time, but most times. And so we really have to kind of consider that in the face of opportunity. Now, what you want to be careful of is you don't want to burn any bridges, right? Where this becomes a little bit trickier and nuanced is, let's say you're in a job that you committed to, you're a couple months in, and all of a sudden a bigger opportunity comes. You don't want to just be like, all right, bye, and think that you can always return to that particular job. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, theoretically you could, but you have to be very careful in how you go about it. Don't just, this isn't carte blanche, essentially, to go chase the bigger, better offer. Those come, but you have to be careful not to burn bridges. And it's a mistake that people in early on in their careers make. They think like the world is and business is just expansive, and people don't talk. But your professional reputation does precede you in a sense. And if you burn bridges, that will come back to haunt you. So don't do that. But at the same time, know that in general, most things in life you can return to. So, another kind of example, one of my friends, she had to go back to Florida a couple of years ago because of certain circumstances, and she really loved LA and so forth. And, in a sense, most people can look at that as time lost. Like, she was back in Florida for about 4 years. But after 4 years, she was ready to make back, she handled everything that she needed to in Florida, and she was able to come back to LA. And so it's like, yeah, 4 years have passed, but that doesn't mean that it was all wasted. No, she grew as a person, she learned new things, and she handled what she needed to handle back in Florida. Now she's able to be back in LA. So, we can return to things, and, life isn't just like a linear journey necessarily. There are ebbs and flows, and to think that something is lost just because you leave it for a certain amount of time is I think, quite frankly, bullshit, and you shouldn't necessarily buy into it. So that's the advice I have for you. That's really kind of think about it, whatever comes up in your life, to consider that, yeah, is this something that I can return to? Because chances are you can. And if so, then why not go for the opportunity, right? If you have any questions or thoughts of your own, by all means, please share it down below in the comments section. Hit me up on social media at Phil Svitek. I truly would appreciate conversing with you. It's always a lot of fun for me. If you think this advice would benefit someone in your life, by all means, please share it with them. It certainly means a lot to me. And thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next time.